Right. Any other comments? I'm going to weigh in here too, just since this has been such a topic. And, I think at the end of the day, our goals for any sort of code enforcement are, and they were in the presentation, vitality, integrity for the city, health, and safety. And I guess from my perspective, those goals apply not only to rental properties, but to all properties. And so by making this ordinance a little more consistent with how we treat other properties, I think that, this question about treating rental properties differently really isn't, because we do have these same ordinance and the same goals for our regular properties. And I think that it's important to also note that a warrant for any property can be sought. So believe me, as you were going through that list, I was thinking, I wonder if all my fire things work in my house. And so that kind of brings me to my next point, which is somewhat along with what Mr. Velker said, which is, I think that this has got to be something that we as a city educate not just the rental properties, but also the homeowners, the senior citizens who may not realize that the fire department will come out and check those fire alarms and things like that. And so I think that, again, I think part of our job as a council and as a community is to educate people how to make their places where they live as safe and proper as they can. I agree with what everybody is saying. The exterior issues are definitely what we hear the most about. We definitely hear about it from the homeowners leadership. And I think it's when they see those exterior downgrades, for lack of a better word, that's when this whole issue of rental registration tends to pop up. So I, too, am in favor of option 2. And I think that that's a consistent, that's what all 7 are. So I would say that our charge to you is to come back to us at the appropriate time so that we can amend this ordinance on a council agenda. And I think that's what you need from us this evening, correct?
This is great feedback, exactly that. I do want to acknowledge Don's work on tracking it, certainly listening to a variety of inputs. Don, I think, very responsive on bringing forward a series of suggestions. Appreciate this response tonight. We'll be fast in bringing that back to get effective with that. And much as we talked about ordinance refinements, I think the other point many of you brought up was the idea of outreach and programmatic and communication techniques. And I know that Don has been active with Greg and others on behalf of mediums and different formats for that. And certainly we have various forums that we will also be trying to update and make those refinements as well. So this has some programmatic response beyond merely just an ordinance refinement, but that is certainly a fundamental piece of that, and we'll be quick in that work and then go on with the other outreaches as well. There's been some work in the last little while too, and I think we're going to go back and reflect and see, going forward, what's the best approaches now with this with this updated direction here on kind of reviewing things that have been active this year. We'll take a look at that as well.
Well, and I guess my final statement would be that, I personally will be interested in having a year from now, if we adopt this ordinance, let's just go ahead and say that 1 year from right now, again, we're going to look at it, and my opening statement I'll stand firmly with, which is you don't know how the outcome of an ordinance is going to work until you actually implement it for a while. And I think that, our intents are positive, and we just want to make sure that that's what's actually carried on a year from now once we have some more data.
Absolutely. Thank you.